episode 3 of the Boys Brunch Inc. podcast. If you are listening, you need to subscribe, hit that notification bell because we're coming out with some amazing content. But this evening or tonight or whatever time you're in the day you're listening to this, we're going to speak about something a little bit more, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more vibesy, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let's get into Sean Pierre, why are you on your phone?
Hey boy.
Please put away your phone.
Sorry, just looking for content.
Okay. Thank you very much. Alright, so we got a little special guest here today.
Fresh
this
face.
This guy's a fresh face.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is the first time on the camera. Big up yourself, Stefan. Oh.
Thank you for having me.
Big up yourself.
Welcome, Paul.
Welcome, pal.
Yeah. Excuse my attire, I just came from the gym, so you see my legs out.
Legs out. Guns out. Let's see what we're doing. Dreams!
Health as well.
What do you say, my fam? I heard you want to answer some...
Alright boys, I'm going to hit you with this question, right? Let's break the fourth wall. You can reach out to us.
Alright,
here's the first question. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Y'all remember the first time you fell in love?
That's easy. That's easy. Yeah, that's easy.
I'm talking the very
first time we fell in love. Who wants to start? I'm not going to start this one.
I think our guest should start.
Alright,
Yeah. You start.
I can start. This is a dangerous topic for me. But for me, love is... There's different phases of your life where you kind of realize, maybe I never really loved this person as much as I love this person. But I'll start with the safest one. The safest thing is the first woman I fell in love with. I fell in love with her young. I met her when I was probably 12.
12?
And I didn't date her until I was in my 20s. Because if you know me back from Jamaica, I was probably like 4'5", like 80 pounds, soaking wet.
So you fell in love with her, but didn't arrive on.
She fill out and thing long time.
Okay.
She had taller than me and something. And we're cool and we spoke all the time. And then in fifth form, when it was time for a ball and all them things, she got invited by an older guy. And I wasn't invited to her ball.
Which ball was it? Which high school? You don't have to name the girl. Which high school?
And this was Andrews. So I'll probably figure it out. But when we connected later on in life, but I'm a very patient person when it comes to the woman I like. So I'll wait for you to come to your senses and give me a shot. So not saying I was waiting with my hands tied, but the spot was reserved for her approach. But I think how I knew it was different was because I was able to sit and wait and reserve the spot. And I know once I got the opportunity to be with the person, it was very different from all the others. So that is my introduction to love. I actually spoke to her earlier too.
How is she?
She's good. She's good. She's good. She's married. So it's safe. But she's good. But that was my first introduction to love.
So how did you know you loved her?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Because
at 12.
Yeah, 12 years old. Your advice?
No. So I went to her school because my younger brother went to her school. I met her and it was just like, yo, I really cool. And we'd talk and whatever, but it's your puppy love stuff. But she clearly wasn't interested at the time, and I had to make do with whatever else I had. But as I got older, we lost touch, and then I went to Jamaica. I can't remember the year, but I was in New Kingston, and just walking in New Kingston, and I saw her. I said her name, and she looked, and she was like, she didn't even recognize me because, of course, in my early 20s, I go to gym a little bit. But and then we reconnected from there. She had a man at the time, but that never last.
Why did it not last though?
Because I was applying a little pressure, but
That's good.
yeah. So all I know was different is, I guess when you know, and you always hear people say that term, but and of course times change, people change. Obviously, it didn't work, but with the past relationships I've had, or situationships, whatever you want to call it,
So
it was very different from this one. So,
she gave you the opportunity in your 20s. So
Yeah.
in the past, I think between 12 and 20, roughly.
yeah. So I mean, the spot was pretty much reserved for that one.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you fall in love with somebody at 12, is it because of physical?
So I wouldn't say it's all right. So I probably wouldn't say it was love. Then it was an infatuation.
Well, like-
but I really liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You found out that your heart worked.
Yeah. No, but I always knew my heart too big. That's a damn problem. Too damn big. But yeah, it was.
What's that spotlight off of you a little bit?
Yeah.
Like it's Sean. Sean, you remember your first experience?
Of course he does.
I was like, if I tell the story, everybody will know who it is, and I won't even say the name.
I already know who it is.
But yeah, like even how we met was hella random. I was back then, as per certain people's reference, the connection. I know certain people used to log into my MSN to get people's contact information.
ICQ.
Yeah, ICQ because I have everybody's contacts on mine. I don't know how I ended up getting there. At one point in like third form, I had like 4,000 people on MSN. And I know certain men would ask me, yo, do you have this girl's messenger?
The network started from a young age.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I was chatting with one of my friends about a party we went to. No, it was Immaculate Barbecue we went to. And there was a girl I saw there. And I called my friend and I was chatting to her. And she's like, yeah, I know her. I was like, yo, I need an introduction. My girl three-wayed her on the phone immediately.
Three-way.
To this day, that girl's one of my closest friends still.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, you're a real one when I think about
The
that.
plug, yo.
Yeah, right? But me and her ended up dating for the rest of my high school career.
Yep.
She and I also tried to make it work for 2 years after I left high school, but I had a choice. Do I go back home for the relationship but no career opportunities, or do I stay where I was at and pursue life? And I don't know, I went home that summer and I worked at a couple hotels I don't want to name, but I got paid the equivalent of 41 Canadian dollars for 1 week's worth of work for what I do. And someone that came from my school on a externship from Canada was making $1,000 a week. I graduated top of my class. That person dropped out of the program. So when I experienced that, I was like, I told her, I was like, yo,
It's not gonna work out.
it's not that it's not going to work out. I was like, I know I love you. I know that without a fact, but I'm also not going to move back to Jamaica and like try to make life work because that it would have sucked. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I would have been terrible in the relationship because, yo, we know how we are. Like, finance is a big part of the conversation, like to feel unaccomplished. And she still ended up waiting like 2 more years before she started dating anyone else, just in case I moved home. Right? I still talk to her.
I know you do.
And I think I went back home every January for like 5 years just to go hail her for her birthday.
That's cute. I'm sure her husband loves that.
Her husband.
Wait, I haven't been back since she's been.
Is that where she?
I have not been back. She's married. I don't do that.
She's married.
No.
Good.
Once she said that she and the new guy were dating serious, like I backed off. But like to this day, like, she's probably one of the people I respect the most that I've ever dated.
I'll be honest, that's only a tough decision to make though. Like,
Yeah.
like, can you kind of give us a insight on your emotions during that? Like, when you made a decision, you're like, okay, I can't go back to Jamaica.
Well, I'll put it this way. Like, there are moments where I stop and think about it. It's like, for everything that I've achieved in my life and my career, would I trade that back to have made the decision to move back to Jamaica to be with her?
Probably not.
I don't know. I would never say probably not. I don't know because I can't quantify it.
Yeah.
Because if I did move back home, what if we got married? What if we had kids already?
Yeah.
Like, could I consider that more valuable than everything that I've achieved? I don't know. I don't have it, so
Probably.
it can't be quantified. But it is a possibility that could have been a future.
Yeah.
And I did think about that.
So let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
So when you guys were at that crossroads, why wasn't the idea entertained for her to come to?
Yes, I thought it would. I figured it wouldn't.
I don't want to speak for
Oh, okay.
her side because it's already obvious to anyone who knows me from high school who the person is.
We know who I know what you're talking about.
But I didn't live and think that way, and she was pretty set with what she had going on for her life in Jamaica. So
Yeah, she was set.
it's like, why move? You know?
Yeah.
She didn't do it.
Right?
So, I want to talk this question to Rhino because, as we all know, Rhino is one of the most elusive people when it comes to relationships. And so this is a good question. I'm very surprised that he's the one who actually brought it up.
Brought it up. Yeah.
So Rhino, because tell us about it, Rhino.
Yeah, honestly, when I was younger, I thought I was like just a callous individual because I saw all my friends in relationships and being in love and telling me about their love stories and stuff like that. But I just couldn't understand it. I was like, yeah, I've never had that feeling before, right? So when I was younger, I would date girls and things, but I mean, I hope nobody's watching and feeling away from this. But like,
They are watching.
I never fell in love.
Dangerous topic, man.
Yeah. So I do remember the first time where I felt like, okay, you know what, this kind of feel like love still, you know, like, you know.
When was it?
I was kind of unsure. It's probably like 2015, 16.
Yeah, that's late.
Okay, wow.
Late. Yeah, I was already like in my 20s and thing.
Wow,
And
okay.
at that point, I was like, all right, I met this girl and she was really cool and the vibe was just there.
Oh,
She fully integrated into my friend group. Like when we hung out, it was just vibes, right? It's funny because the girl before that,
she now follows us, by the way.
yeah, everybody's cool with her. Trust
Okay,
me.
yeah, she's
I've
cool.
heard the story.
She's cool.
She's very cool,
Yeah,
right?
she's cool.
Oh, man, no.
Yeah. So that's the first time I can say that, okay, you know what? I love this girl. She deserves the love. You see what I'm saying?
Shout out to her.
Yeah, but big up yourself.
Big up yourself. You know who you
You're
are.
an awesome individual.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yo, I rate what Ryan is saying in that though, because after my first, I would say how I define loved evolved in different phases of my life. When I first moved to Toronto, like, I told girls, I was like, hey, I know I'm not trying to settle down right now. One, as a little bit comparing them to my past, but I also knew what I wanted to create in my first 5 to 10 years in Toronto. And that wasn't a priority for me. But I still found love in a lot of relationships that did not go the distance, but I'm still cool with those people. And I appreciated the experiences and a lot of the growth that came from those experiences.
Yeah.
You know, because I get you, like that vibe and that connection,
Yeah.
like you can find it in very different
Honestly, I
ways.
feel like that's affected me, right? Like after, because when I date girls now, it's like I'm kind of like nitpicking because I'm like, this girl showed me what a good, healthy relationship is supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. So when I end up in a toxic situation, I just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my response. You know,
I'm gonna be honest. I know it's very hard. I know it's easy to compare the women, but you really shouldn't.
you shouldn't. Yeah.
Just because if they were to do the same thing for you, you wouldn't want to compare you to.
And that's what I'm saying though. Like it's not good.
It's not.
Right? But
but it's human nature, right?
Yeah.
I think both sexes compare.
Yeah, whereas some of our experiences.
So they do that.
So, I think you're next.
I didn't want to talk about that.
You think you can die?
I want to say hi.
I didn't know. I've been in love twice. I'm in love with my wife now, obviously.
Me too.
But I've been in love before. What I will say about who I was in love with before is that I wasn't ready. I was definitely in love, but I know I wasn't ready. I did some things that I'm not proud of, and I apologize for, but I was definitely not ready. And I messed up.
Yeah.
The first two, the next step was for you to come here to get married. And of course, I wasn't ready for all of that. But then instead of being man enough to say, yo, I'm not ready for all of that, you kind of destroy the relationship.
Yeah.
In a sense. Or you sabotage the relationship. Which was also another sign that you just weren't ready at the time.
Right.
But I don't know if you have any more topics, but I had two questions I wanted to ask the people here and the people in the background.
Sure.
After your first stint with love, how did that change your outlook on relationships afterwards? And then
Jesus.
the next spicy question I wanted to ask, if you could describe your first heartbreak.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Well, hold on. We forgot one person still, you know.
what?
Don Omar can't dodge these questions.
Oh, I see him come on for the camera for a reason.
He's not there on camera, but you can still answer the question though.
Well, so my first love affair was with my ex, right? And that relationship actually lasted like 9 years, almost 10 years, almost a decade. What I can say is that love experience was it was a very challenging experience, very educational, very everything. And yeah, that, I think it was about 2006, I'd say. It was a girl that I met at Exit, you know, really was into her. A lot of people were into her too. I eventually became that person, you know. We went through a very turbulent relationship, but I'm a persistent person, so we eventually, you know, got closer, fell in love with each other, did many things together. I think the first ATI experience that she ever had, I was the one that took her to that. That time was ATI, RTI, you know, when it was fresh.
Yeah.
And it was a person that wasn't really exposed to a lot of things in life, so I really took her out of that, you know, place and kind of showed her a lot of things, and she was really appreciative of that. And fast forward to, she migrated to the States before I did. I came to the States like 2 years after she came here. We started to live again together with my family. But then the turbulent relationship that we had in Jamaica, it reoccurred. And that's when the decision was made, and that's how that relationship ended. And then the new love of my life, which is my wife.
Hey.
And that is my wife is the best thing that ever happened to me. Shout out, mommy.
Big up.
5 years of marriage. This is the 6th. I never experienced nothing like this in my life. Growth, love, fellowship amongst our family, respective families, is just a bond that I couldn't have asked for anything more special. And that is what love is. Love is just effortless, this effortless bond that we share. and I wish everybody can experience what I experienced. I know that a few of my fellow boys brunch members have experienced that too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Rhino.
Stew.
When you asleep at night time, right?
Yeah. When you can go through 5-6 years of marriage and the good times heavily outweighs the bad times, because trust me, there's no perfect marriage. But there's a perfect person for you. That's what love is. And you know, when you can have that feeling and that experience, that's all you know.
That was great, yo.
That was great.
Yeah.
Mr. Fan.
Anyway,
Thank you, sir.
who's the first one taking on Mr. Paul questions?
The heartbreak.
So, go ahead with the spicy question.
Well, you re-ask it more directly. Which of the two questions you asking and who are you asking it to?
Wait, so you asked about the heartbreak and what else?
So I asked about the heartbreak, and then I asked about how, because we've all loved before, who we currently love, or whatever the case may be. How did that change your outlook on love going forward? After that first one.
The heartbreak?
No, not the heartbreak. The heartbreak, I just want to hear about the heartbreak.
Yeah. I'll go first because I kind of touched on it already.
Exactly.
Hold on,
So that's where I got that question from.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
I believe that there's heartaches. There are heartaches and then there are heartbreaks.
No, that's about break.
So their full break is what we're discussing right now.
The break. Lock up in our room.
Can I just say for the people that are listening, this is definitely gonna go past 35 minutes, okay? So don't think that this is without doubt this one is gonna be heavy. Yeah. So continue.
Yeah, so I'll jump in on that. So after my first love, the one that I acknowledge for myself and also acknowledge publicly, I got really clear because I won't lie, my first year and a half, I was very reckless in Toronto. Not even gonna lie, I was on demon mode now that I look back on it. And the problem was I wasn't being honest with them and therefore creating expectations that were not realistic that could have just been changed by having an honest conversation. And I think that's what shifted for me is like, hey, cool, I'm clear on what I'm looking for. And I'm present that I'm not ready for that at that moment. So it shifted me to be more transparent and authentic with people. The funny part was they still ended up getting to that place where they wanted what I said I wasn't ready to give. And it would still end up having those relationships break up. Because at the end of the day, we all know it, both male and female, no matter what they say, if they're in any type of physical and emotional relationship with you, someone is going to fall at some point. And I just didn't want to be the asshole in those and have people being dragged along with a false impression of what they could create, you know? And I learned that young. I think I went from 21 to 27 where intentionally I didn't go into any serious relationships.
Well, yeah, man, I know how you do that.
Oh, well, I was living my best life.
I love me a good little relationship, man.
I mean, what I can say is, in terms of heartbreak, so after I did what I did with my ex, and it didn't work out, I dated in Jamaica, by the way. I dated in Jamaica a lot. Not the same girl, different girls. And you talked about heartbreak. I remember that heartbreak situation. It was the same girl that I was in love with. And it was a New Year's Eve. It was a New Year's Eve. And I remember, I didn't want to go anywhere. I think all my friends went out. I think even Reese was in Jamaica at the time. And they all went out partying and stuff. And I stayed home with her. We weren't together, but we were trying to reconcile. And I remember at midnight, she was on the phone with another guy. Yes.
I remember that year.
Yeah. She was on the phone with another guy, and that hurt me as hell. And I was like, I didn't know she did it on purpose, but I was just like, you need to leave.
Bro, we were all home that Christmas.
No. I think everyone was. I think that's what happened. I think everyone went out, and I stayed home.
Yeah.
Right. So that for me, that's definitely it hurt.
I missed that. Like you said, you're chilling with her and she's on.
Yeah, she was on the phone with another guy.
While she was hanging out with you at your place?
Yes, for New Year's. Yeah. And she probably did it on purpose. And I you know what? Now I look back on it, I'm just like, you know,
For her too.
yeah, it's hurt for her. But yeah, and after that,
But she was just on the phone, just like, "Hi, Happy New Year," or was she like,
no, she had a
laid
long
back, cozy?
conversation.
FaceTime.
No, it wasn't FaceTime.
Oh, it was
FaceTime.
Yeah, no, FaceTime them time.
Well, it was all like conversation and stuff, blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, like, and she was like, yeah. So even after that, like, I dated a lot of women, and probably dated too much women in Jamaica. And I just wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I was, as Sean said, I was on demon time, definitely.
But were you trying to get in a relationship, but just wasn't ready?
I think I would tell myself at the time I was trying, but I wasn't really trying.
Okay. Alright.
You know, it was just going with the flow. I just love female company, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was basically it. Right. Obviously, I'm married now, so everything has changed. But I'm just saying, back in the day, that's how it was.
Yo, this topic too heavy, yo.
Very good follow-up, sir. Very good follow-up. Fellow married man.
I saw your face and I was like, wait. Let me just get something straight. Yeah, no, but but it's it's a great topic. Great questions, definitely. Yeah, what about you?
No, question heavy, man. We can move on.
Question heavy, right?
I'll talk about my heart.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get ready. I'll sit down.
Here we go.
So, lady I was dating in college. Valentine's Day. It wasn't the best relationship, but hey, it's Valentine's Day. I'm leaving work, flowers in my car. Hey, leaving work now. Like, oh no, I'm going to bed. Let's talk tomorrow.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh, shit, cool. I'm just thinking to myself, all right, cool, whatever. I guess I can use this going forward. So then, next morning, I get a call. Hey, I don't think we should do this anymore. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm fine, completely fine. All right? Because I wasn't faithful at the time. I was doing whatever the fuck I was doing.
Oh.
Yeah, but as a man, your ego. So no.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks later, I run into one of her friends. And her friend was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good, why? It's like, okay, good. Just as long as you're okay. Because she's doing excellent. This guy she met, they're having the time of their life, da-da-da-da-da. So no, this is where the heartbreak coming. So little later on, you realize, it's just your ego. But, and I tell you, I got home, mind you. Man,
Who that?
Oh, she's here.
So, hi Reese, welcome to my heartbreak.
Hey, Reese, how you doing, bro?
Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
So where was I? So I found out this information. When I say I stayed in my room, I think I came out of my room probably to use the bathroom. I stayed in my room for about 3 days. Just like, yo, how you doing this? Call her, go to her house, not unannounced though. Tell her come in. And then she admitted it to me that yada yada yada. And then she told me the story of how she met the guy. She was just at a party the night before Valentine's Day, met the guy, and just a whirlwind ever since. And at that point, being a very toxic person, I literally made it my duty to get this young lady back. So somebody called me, yo, she out here, yada yada yada. I contact one of the finest women I know. Her name starts with D. Went out to the party, man, this hot piece of something at the party. This is very toxic, by the way. I can't believe I'm saying this on camera. But I'm there with this young lady, and so she comes over to me now. Hey, what's up? I'm like, I'm good. You sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Meet so-and-so. So-and-so meet so-and-so. So now I'm leaving the party. I get a text. So that's you now. I'm like, I didn't respond. I get a call. Mind you, me and this girl now, I drop her home. I go bring her home. Get the message. So can I see you?
No.
I'm like, I don't know what time I'll be home. Cause I'm
busy.
I'm occupied.
Yeah.
This young lady shows up at my house. So I'm at the house. We have our reunion, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want this. I don't want this at all. And afterwards. Yeah.
Afterwards.
Months afterwards.
Yeah.
But
you got her back and then you told her that.
yeah. Months afterwards. But that's when I know it was just a solely ego. Because it's very toxic. Extremely. But in college, nobody should confidently call me their boyfriend in college. That was just a terrible time. Terrible. No, college is different, man.
I must say that we all didn't know better in college.
Yeah.
No, we
It's
didn't.
fair to say that.
Yeah, fair.
But
They always say women mature faster than men.
yeah.
I think women they have the
You days was bad days.
They have the ability to
Yeah.
be in a serious relationship and thrive. And there's some guys that have the same ability, but like in college, majority of men having fun. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And to touch on to touch on the topic where Rhino was talking about earlier, and you took him on here about comparing women. It's very difficult to do, but one thing though, you realize after every relationship, you realize what you don't want.
Yeah.
Fine.
And that's
So-
important. You gotta learn.
Yeah.
And that actually helps me with my story,
Yeah.
right?
But then you also realize later on that, you said that never too bad. Like I never had.
You learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
But you're at a different
At that point, yeah.
place in your life.
Okay.
So I know I spoke about like my love or my first love, right? And how she kind of spoiled me, like my mindset. Well, my mindset, she made me know what like a healthy relationship was supposed to be,
Yeah.
right?
I love her.
So the heartbreak story actually comes after that because I met this girl and the problem is she showed me some things that I didn't want to deal with, like you just said, right? Like.
Yeah. Oh, I know this one.
To the health situation. And
I love this one. I love you.
I love you too.
I love that one. Yeah.
I love this one too, right, by the way.
Love your curly hair.
What are you talking about? Hey, continue.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
She don't follow us yet, but she'll follow us soon.
This clip will get to her.
Yeah, she definitely will.
I'll forward it.
Continue.
anyways, so as a man where, I'll be honest with you guys, I'll be transparent, like my experience level wasn't that high at the time dealing with certain types of personality traits and stuff like that, right? So there were certain things that I just couldn't deal with. I couldn't deal with it, and it was causing a rift in the relationship. So we'd end up breaking up, getting back together, breaking up again, getting back together. And at that point, I just felt like I couldn't deal with the stress anymore, right? I'm just like, I'm not doing anything that warrants this stress. Like, I'm not cheating, not being a bad person. I could have been a better boyfriend, obviously. But because of the circumstances, my actions just didn't, like, as a man, you kind of understand certain things you just kind of put to the side. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? She's tripping right now. I'll put that one to the side. When she cool off, we're going to be good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I didn't have that in me. It was just more like, yo, why is she tripping? Can't deal with this. Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm locking myself off. I'm going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So that was my mentality to it, which was not helping her. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't want to dive too deep into that, but the heartbreak.
Me, I dive. So do you think it's because you had her at a certain point? Like, you had her here that you chose to disregard some feelings? Whereas with the one before, or maybe somebody else who you were probably more into, they would get away with murder.
No one got away with murder before that.
Oh.
So technically, she was the one that was getting away with murder.
Really?
Yeah. Because every other girl that I met prior to this one that would give me any of that kind of vibe, I would just cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what, it's not working.
Okay.
Boom, boom. But she's the one where I actually poured into it. Like, I see the potential in her. I see.
You still see the potential in her.
I mean, you know, time has passed, right? But and you see the good in her. You see the potential. Okay, you know what? If we remove this toxic part of it, this will be perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I got frustrated one day. I remember like we were going at it, and I had a headache, and I felt something like pop in my head, and I was like, "Yo, like, am I gonna die?" Right? And I was like, I can't keep doing this to myself, and like I was like, all right, we can't keep doing this.
But you talking about the first one or the one after?
After.
Oh, okay. What did it fight?
After.
Oh.
I don't know if you're on the same page.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
We'll
May I pre the ball, the spectator.
Anyway, I got way too serious with this. Me need to shift the conversation a little bit.
Why don't you get to the heartbreak part though?
Oh,
A blood clot, man. How much layers there this story there?
No, the heartbreak isn't the toxicity of the relationship. The heartbreak is when you realize that the person done. Right? And I have a virgin that's actually in this room that's telling me like, yo bro, like if you know, it's either you go all out, because if she done with you and she fully done, that's getting hurt.
So you chose to pull the exit before she did.
No, I exited. Yeah, I exited.
Yeah.
And she was like, are you sure? She's like, if you do it this time, that's it. There's no getting back after this one. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, at the time, I was like, yo, that was just the
are we
right,
talking about
it's the right decision to make at the time. What's up?
You're talking about with my friend or the other one, the first one?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused.
So confused.
No, but this is the place to get it clear.
Yeah, like we're just talking with the heartbreak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm adding the personal side to it. Sorry.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm
We'll
like,
dig into that off screen.
So,
I like both of them, by the way. I think so. What I'm saying is that I think you have,
I think I know what you guys are talking about now.
in terms
Yeah.
of
Hold on.
catches.
So whenever that was done now,
Yeah.
I tried dating after that. You know, we spoke about like the after effects of that. I tried dating after that, and you know, I actually met a very wonderful person. Right? I know that's probably who you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
oh,
So wait. Oh my. Hey. Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
yo,
about.
people, we confused.
Guys, we are confused. Yeah, we are confused.
Nah, man, chill. But like at the end of the day, like when I met that girl, no, I just wasn't in the right place because of the prior heartbreak. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now this makes
That's
sense.
what messed up potential good thing. But you know, like,
So wait, all this time you're talking about the first one?
yeah, really? Oh, you guys talking about?
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the man had me confused.
Bro.
Good. I'm glad that everybody's confused.
Wow.
But what threw me off is when they said the argument till your head hurt. I'm like, but that doesn't sound like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
didn't argue.
That doesn't sound like.
But anyway,
A+.
I want to switch the conversation a little bit. Because we said this was
Don't
gonna
be
a
afraid
fun
to be
topic.
vulnerable.
Don't be
No,
don't be
hold on.
afraid.
Don't be afraid, bro.
I ain't afraid to be vulnerable. So I hope you all answer the question I'm going to put on the table then.
I say.
All right. So we're talking about relationships, all of that. We talked about our first love, our heartbreak, and like what it did to us. But I want all of the man them in this room to share what was your favorite relationship and what you got. Hold on. Let me finish the question.
The favorite relationship.
Hold on.
So
Yo,
I
hold
want to
on.
finish
Hold-
it. Reese.
Hold on.
Reese.
No, but let me finish. Let me finish the question though. Y'all just stop listening because you're like trouble. Your favorite relationship because of what you learned about yourself,
So your favorite,
like your growth.
where your growth.
Yeah, your growth. Like, and it may not have panned out,
That's a good question.
but the one, like someone who you were with that had you learn that got you to where you're at right now, which is why you love your life. Like, give them their credit, even though the relationship didn't work.
Okay.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
would think that would
Okay,
tie up
okay.
to the biggest heartbreak.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's not always has to be
No, it doesn't.
heartbreak.
That's what I'm saying. You got confused.
It doesn't have to be heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, them
That could
instantly
just
went negative one.
No, bro.
No.
That's how you started it, fam.
Yeah, you know, gotta keep it spicy a little bit.
I was like, damn. And who wants to go first?
If I was supposed to answer that question, I wouldn't get into trouble because it's my quirk. Why?
Yes.
I brought out the best in me. And made me, progress. And
Very safe. Very safe. Very safe.
so yes, was my wife for me. So, guys, go ahead.
That's his real answer.
All right, so I get. So I'll go. So I would definitely say it's my current relationship.
Oh, everyone's current.
Because but for me it's I've been in relationships where we can't communicate, and I'm a very calm, level-headed person. I don't argue, I don't raise my voice. But a lot of times the women I've dated before, they saw that as me not caring.
You don't care about me.
But that speaks to the relationship they were in prior. So for me, my thing is always this: no matter where we are, nobody around us should know that we are at odds. If that's the case, we need to go home.
That's what Dan says all the time.
Me and you could have just had the biggest shouting match, which would probably never happen.
Yeah.
But once we get in this room, stay the course.
Yeah.
That's a healthy rule.
And I've had, sometimes it's not easy to do.
It's not easy to
so,
do.
as what Jay-Z said, I ain't going to nobody's nothing if me and my wife beefing. I don't care if the house on fire, I'm a dying that bitch, I ain't leaving. And that is something I think is very important. So with my current relationship, if I don't like something, I can talk to you about it. And it's not seen as me coming down on you or whatever the case may be. And if she doesn't like something, she don't hesitate, boy. And it forces me to rise to the occasion, because I'm used to being the man where you can't talk to me a certain way, we gotta talk, but it could be something small. She'll say it, I'll sit back, I may not like it, but you know what, in a few minutes, in a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days, I'll be back to normal. And I think that is very important for me, because it allowed me to check myself, and it allowed me to be in a position where I can speak to you, not in fear of what's going to happen after I speak to you. Hey, you might cry or whatever, you cry, I'm gonna hug you, we're gonna lay down, we're good. It's not a matter of, hey, I didn't like this. Yo, well, you did this in summer 2017. Fuck you. Da, da, da. Like, we don't have that, And to me, communication is very important. And I spoke to a guy, good friend of mine, Chad Radley, and he always speaks about argument chemistry. Because you're going to fight. You're going to come at odds. You're two separate people, two individuals trying to do one thing. If you guys can have a healthy disagreement, or just a healthy conversation, that is the stepping stone for something great. And I think I have that now, because we've had our fair share of disagreements, and you have those when you travel. But I think that is the person that brought the best out of me. But that's me. Redeem myself from the earlier story.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, but you guys really look happy. I love that for y'all.
Yeah, man.
Because y'all both deserve that. So, it's a good look. Definitely a good look.
Appreciate that.
Side note, he said he's a calm individual, and he is. I can vote for that. What I want to kind of do is big up my brother, right? Because I learn from you guys as well. And I'll see positive traits, things that I need to work on, and see how my friends handle it. And you guys have been exemplary for certain things in my life. So just wanted to big you up. I know that's a side note, off topic, but yeah. Big up in the
anytime.
Yeah, man. So.
Well, since everybody's being like,
I'm not gonna cry.
Since everybody's being safe, I'll answer my own question,
Oh, you can do it. You want it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you single.
You
single. All right.
But it ties into what Mr. Paul started on. It is the communication piece. And the person that kind of had the biggest impact on me was probably one of my shortest relationships. And it wasn't because neither one of us liked each other or anything. It's just our careers diverted and we ended up in 2 different continents. But what that person shifted for me was no matter what time of night I came in from work or what was going on, through curiosity, not controlling, not being over analytical or lacking confidence in herself, she genuinely created a effort to want to hear what was going on with me and created communication through curiosity. And what she had me learn in that moment was I had no idea what it looked like to have an authentic bond with someone that was non-physical at that age. And she shifted that for me. And she created, I guess, kind of what my framework around what I look for now is like, yo, physical, you could meet a girl at a club and get that. What's hard to find now is that mental, authentic, genuine care. Right? Yeah, some people play the card, oh, they want to get to know you, hang out, blah, blah, blah. But if, for me and how I mentally judge most people I meet these days is, what is their level of curiosity? And is it authentic? Because if they don't put the effort in, then that's my mental cue to move on. Right? Because subconscious effort is their true desire. Right? They always say a drunken person's thoughts or words is a sober person's thoughts. You know? And it's the same thing for when I interact with women socially. It's like, yeah, it's all good and fun when certain things are happening, but
what would you say is your time frame for using that as a real assessment though? Like,
at the end of
give people time.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, effort and care over time is continuous. Like, for me, I intentionally choose to not text certain people for a few days to see if they even consider texting back.
You gotta be playing the game, boy.
Huh?
So you gotta be playing the game.
No, because if I really like them and I really care, I'm going to pause and take a moment to see where their interests at.
In the beginning, people are guarded these days. People don't care.
I know, but the thing is, I don't have time for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I get that. So, yeah.
Teach your own.
Yeah, teach your own. Yeah. Because I think in the beginning, you know, if you're the one that wakes up early and says the good morning all the time, I think that's cool. But it's all about the reciprocation, right? If she's responding, she's enthusiastic, she wants to talk, you know, who cares who message first? As long as it keeps going. But if it's a dry conversation, like, hey, good morning, beautiful, and she's like, hey, and nothing else throughout the day, then that's you chasing. Hey, hello. Yeah, so tell us about your first heartbreak.
One out.
Hello.
I didn't get the memo.
First heartbreak, Reese.
First heartbreak? I don't think I've ever been heartbroken.
Really?
Whoa. In hindsight, looking back, I'm like, oh.
How are you supposed to have
I was just growing pains.
late?
That's the key.